Hello. It's been a while.
Has been a while. How are you doing?
Pretty good. I haven't seen you since like last time we made a video, right?
It's been super long.
Yeah.
So today we're talking about Mr. Right,
Right.
um, with Sam Rockwell and Anna Kendrick. What did you think about it?
Sam Rockwell's in it. He sounds like Owen Wilson when you don't look at him. Like every time he was off screen, I was like, that's Owen Wilson. And then he
Stop
comes
it.
on.
Really?
He sounds a lot like Owen Wilson. Yeah.
I like him 10 million times better than Owen Wilson.
What? What the fuck, Corey? What do you mean? Owen
Where you
Wilson's.
get most angry?
Yeah, that's not okay. You need to take that back. Owen Wilson's got like.
Oh,
He's one of the greatest people, certainly
he's
in
so
Hollywood.
whiny. He's so freaking whiny when he talks. Let me do my best Owen Wilson impression. Hey man, and it's me, it's Owen Wilson. Sounds
It
like.
was terrible. I didn't like that impression at all. It was very bad. Try again.
Justin's laughing at me. Try again. All right, give me something to say.
Um, First of all, say wow.
Wow.
No, Corey, you don't.
That's right.
Wait, wait,
That's
wait.
right. Wow. Wait, what?
100% no.
I don't know. The point is, I don't love him.
Wait, hold
Do I
on.
think
Wait. Let me make sure that. Here, I'll pull up an image of Owen Wilson to make sure you know who he is.
I know who Owen Wilson is. He's
All right. Well,
awesome.
I don't know if you do based on that wow impression. His wows are more like this. Wow. It's like that. It's like wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
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 Okay, regardless, is he a good actor? Yes, but I've just decided I like Sam Rockwell better, and I fell in love with Sam Rockwell in this movie. And you're probably like, what? First of all, I love the way he moves in this movie, and they even say it like he dances. He's got such cool dance moves. He's smooth. He glides into rooms. I
Gotcha.
like that. And I really liked Tim Roth's character. I mean, I thought he did a great. I didn't like his character. I liked him in it. I thought he did
Yeah,
a
yeah,
good job
yeah, yeah,
as
yeah,
the
yeah,
bad
yeah.
guy. And even just the I know we've talked a lot about the forced exposition. Is that right? Is that the right word?
Yeah, you're right.
I don't think they did that. I liked how they kind of established a little bit that Tim Roth knew Sam right at the beginning. The guy's going in to try to kill Sam, and he's like, "Oh, there's a cake, so obviously there's knives. Yep, he's gonna get those guys out." And he's like crossing out the men that are on his little chart as he's listening in on them trying to kill him. So I thought that was well done. Yeah. So what is it that you didn't like about it? It's very Dexter-ish. Did you ever watch the show Dexter?
Yeah, I don't like that show either. So maybe you're
I
right.
Well, I don't like that show. I think it's a cool idea, but that's more drama. But it's the whole idea of killing the bad guys, um, and but actually, and then they even Dexter has a little bit of comedy in it. Because I remember we watched like the first couple episodes, and he's driving, and after he just brutally killed these murderers, he's like, I love to eat and drive, even though I know it's really irresponsible. Like that's the thing that he's
Hmm.
upset about is
No, I
eating and
feel
driving.
you.
Yeah, and they did some of that in this movie in Mr. Right, which I liked. Like when he's in the car with Anna Kendrick and he's like, "Okay, honey, I'll be right back. I just have to go have a quick meeting." She's like, "Okay," and she turns on some like boppy fun music, and he goes and off somebody, and he gets back in the car, and she's just like, what, and he goes, "What? Are you upset? Are you upset because I killed that guy? That how I feel about him has nothing to do with how I feel about you." It's just so funny. How do you not think that's funny?
I don't know. I guess as I watched it in its entirety, I felt like basically two jokes played out for the whole movie. One joke was let's say serious things in a sarcastic manner, and that was the
Hmm.
one joke that was throughout the whole movie. And then the other joke was let's do over the top things for humor, which fine. Those things can be funny too, but I guess to me it came across as a bit too try hardy with those two lines of making jokes. Say things serious that are
Uh huh.
joking, and the other. I
But
think.
didn't you think they had good chemistry?
I mean, I guess so. I like. I felt like Anna Kendrick and Sam Rockwell were both being comedians at each other. Like Anna Kendrick was being a funny person in this movie, and Sam Rockwell was
Uh-huh.
being a funny person rather than being characters in this movie and reacting to each other. So, and I guess it just came across a little bit too like, I get it, Anna, you're trying to be funny, kind of a thing.
Oh,
But
okay. Well, that's where we need to agree to disagree because I thought they fed off each other well. In
mm,
fact, it felt like some of the times were sort of ad-libbed. I don't know if they were, but
yeah, it did seem that way. That's true.
yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Um,
I think the movie itself came off slightly in bad taste. I
did
think,
you? In what way?
well, in the
The
way that
murdering everyone?
I think like you could either make a movie that is drama first, comedy second, or a movie that's comedy first and drama second. And that I think that is the boat that this movie tried to float in. Um, I don't know if that analogy works, but that's the water that this movie as a boat tried to float in. um, like it came across as like daytime television romance meets Quentin Tarantino, and in a movie with in a Tarantino movie that's drama with some comedic moments, it kind of works because it's drama first, and so you expect what's going to happen, but then the writing is very clever, so humor abounds. Whereas this was like humor is supposed to be the first thing, and then you just get a character who's like, "I'm gonna kill you, you fucking bitch, cocksucker," and it's like, all right, bro, chill. This seems a bit at this just at this point seems kind of gratuitous. Which,
I and
sure,
it is gratuitous. I think so. I don't typically, it's funny. I like Quentin Tarantino movies, but sometimes I find them a bit much. For some reason, this movie and I've seen it maybe 3 times so far. For some reason, I think that I guess I just didn't take any of it seriously. So it was drama, but not really. It was faux drama. I considered it faux drama. And so it kind of like a hint of, so we're trying to be a shoot 'em up kind of movie, but not really. We're just pretending. Haha, just kidding. That's, I guess, how I saw
yeah.
it. I also thought they kind of did a good job with like when she finds out that he's a hitman or whatever, she has appropriate responses, right? She's appropriately like, what the hell is wrong with you? And throughout when he throws knives at her, and she's like, why are you throwing knives? Expecting her to catch them. And uh, so when I say that's a stretch, I don't want to say appropriate. I mean, these are caricatures. They're not real. This isn't how real people would be, I think. But
Sure, sure.
um, so I feel like I know the answer to this question. But would you date this guy?
Fucking no.
I would. I totally would. I mean, he's charming, he's good looking. He didn't at all pressure her to like when she's like, "Oh, let's just, you can stay over, but we're not going to have sex." He's like, "Cool." And he had like the response every woman wants. And so that was great. And honestly, he can wipe out any of those guys. So that's the kind of person you want on your side. It's not going to kill you. I mean,
Nah.
you would have to a little bit worry about don't get into bad arguments or anything.
It's also I think Kaylee said it well when because she and I watched the movie, and when we were like towards the end of the movie, she was like, "This just kind of feels like a movie that was written by a man for men, like where girlfriends would force their boyfriends to go watch it, and they're like, 'You will like it. There's a lot of killing and action,' and then they go and they're like, 'Fuck yeah, it is.'" Sam Rockwell's like this alpha male who just sort of acts like Robert Downey Jr. or Ryan Reynolds and is charismatic. Um, but also like
I can
that
kind of see that.
when I watched this movie, I was like, yeah, I can see it. This sort of seems like a fantasy fulfillment thing for a dude, like a dude like kicks ass and fucks bad guys, and then this girl is like, yo, that is hot as shit, and then fucks him. That is kind of how the movie came off, and I was like, meh, whatever.
You know what? I will say yeah, I can see that. I can see that. It doesn't change my feeling on it. But
For
I
sure.
think that's because maybe it is kind of toxic, right? It's this whole feeling of yeah, maybe it's not healthy that I like this movie, but I do like this movie and I just kind of found it fun and I'm not taking it seriously.
That's fair.
Um, maybe it's a little bit like an overboard situation. You know what I mean? Right? Where, like plenty of people like the movie, obviously,
Right.
and then so I think there can be a case to be made about both sides. But okay, so obviously neither of us have dated a hitman or hit woman, a hit non-binary person. But
Yeah.
what is like the worst or craziest date that you've been on, or craziest experience?
I've been on a couple of. Well, is this just like, have you been on bad dates? Because I've been on bad dates before, but none of
Yeah,
which were like,
no,
this.
it's gonna be this compared, but I'm just, I'm trying to find an in here. I mean, what's like a fun story?
I'd say I've been on 3 dates that were pretty notably not good, but one of them in which, like, I'd say the one that's most equivalent to this situation. I went on a date one time with this woman in. Our first date was to go to Target and go shopping, and
Wait, back up. So, did you meet this person online?
yeah,
Okay, and then how did the let's go to Target thing come up? Or
uh,
was like she already going and you're like, okay, I'll go with you? Or were you going to buy something together?
I think it was like I gotta. Do you want to meet up on this day? And I was like, sure. And she's like, I also have to get some stuff at Target. And I was like, oh, I love Target. And we're like, oh, then why don't we do that? And I was like,
And
okay,
it's a public place. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
why not?
safe. I get it. Yeah.
So we went there. We were just walking around, talking, and then looking at some clothes. And I made a couple jokes about, like, I saw one of the. There was like a. It was. I don't know how to describe it. It was like a sleazy teddy bear onesie was one of the items on the
Uh-huh.
one of the clothing racks, and I was like, "What do you think? Would this look good on me?" And I was like showing it, and she's like, "Pff, "What are you, a fucking pussy?" I was like,
Oh
"What?
my God.
What are
Also,
you?"
you're so funny. A teddy, you mean? Not teddy bear.
No, I mean an actual with teddy bear ears and like a little, a little,
Right.
a little fuzzy nose on on the like as the hood. The hood was like the head of a teddy bear, and
She just
so
did not get that you were joking.
and
Oh my
so I was
God.
like, God damn, what are you, my coach? So that was probably the more aggressive human beings I've been on a date with. That was not
That's funny.
enjoyable. Like the other ones are just kind of like, it, it would be harsh to say pathetic. They weren't pathetic. It was just like not people that had very much charisma to any degree
Right.
whatsoever. And the funniest parts about them about the date was like I never know how to end a date that I is not going well for me. So I think I always pick the worst way to get myself out of it. Like
Mm-hmm.
when someone came over to my apartment to study, and I took that to mean we would do exactly that. And she was just sort of like chilling around in my room, and then was like, "Hey,"
You're like, where's your notebook? Open it up. Let's go.
I was like, "Unzip your backpack. I don't want to be the only one working here." Yeah, I'm like chilling. I'm chilling at my desk, and she looks at one of my books and goes, "Is that real gold?" Pointing to my Shakespeare collection that has like, like the Barnes and Noble
Oh,
style yellow
right.
pages, and I'm like, "Yes," and sure, and at one point she was like, "Well, I'm feeling kind of tired." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. We could call it." And
You're like, oh,
she's like sitting on my bed, and I'm like, "Yeah, bro, you can totally go home if you want to." And so
you pick up her stuff. You're like, here's your jacket.
she actually said it while I was putting her homework back in her backpack, and I was like, "Oh, you have to leave? I'm sorry." Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the
Oh,
worst,
that's
the
funny.
worst part of it was that she gets her things. She lived on the same street as I did, just across the street and down the ways a little bit.
Do you think she's listening to this?
For
She's
sure.
listening.
For sure. So I greet her. I bring her to the door of my apartment, and she's like, "Well, uh, or no," I said, kind of jokingly, "Will you be able to find your way back to your place?" Joking that she lives so close, right?
Right,
And
right.
she goes, "I don't know. You might need to walk me there." And I go, "You'll be fine," and then close the door.
Oh, Calden. When did you figure out that she thought it was a date? When did you figure that piece out?
Well, I mean, I kind of like I thought that it would be a casual date, and had no intentions of it being anything but we meet each other and we do homework. But when I talked to this, I've talked about this with Nick afterwards, and he was like, "You fucking invited her to your apartment for the first date, bro. That's a bold move for anything that isn't a booty call." And I was like, "That's not what it was, though." I guess I was just naive.
You know, it's funny. I almost had that exact same experience too, where someone was like needed help with homework. I'm like, dude, that sounds wicked fun. I'll come over, and that's exactly what I thought it was too. And then I
Wow.
was getting mad that he wasn't doing his homework. I'm like, what the heck is wrong with you, dude?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I actually have two experiences from the same person. Clearly, some destructive behavior and stuff like that. Really nice guy, really sweet. But like, I met him from work. I was in college, and I remember talking to him on the phone, and he's supposed to come over, and we were gonna watch a movie, whatever, in my dorm room. And all my friends are like, "Oh, is he coming? Is he coming?" And I get off the phone with him, and I said, "So," and he was late. He like wasn't coming, so I was stressed out, and they're like, "Oh, what did he say?" And I said, well, he said he just has to, you know, smoke a joint and finish his beer, and he'll be over." So all of my friends are like, "Sorry, that's a red flag," except one of my friends who goes, "Oh, he's coming over." And
At least he's got his
that's
priorities.
yeah, she was hanging on to the precious part. And then years later, that you fizzled out, unsurprisingly.
Did
And
he
then
come
a
over?
couple
Was
years,
it a good time?
I mean, I think we just did just watch a movie. I mean, nothing went really far with this guy. And then a couple years later, we got connected again. I think I saw him out at a bar or something, and was talking to him. And again, super nice guy, very easy to connect with. Um, Liked him. And then I think one morning I wake up in his room, and he had to
You
go to
wake
work.
up one night in his room?
Yeah,
What, Corey?
I'm trying to be I clearly I slept over, okay? And then the next morning we wake up, and he goes over. He had to go to work, so he gets up. He opens up his closet. He's got his dresser right there. He goes to like I think he's gonna like go pull his shirt on, and instead he snorts something on his
Oh,
on
yeah.
top of his.
That's the first
So
red flag I've heard for
no,
sure.
it doesn't talk about it. So
That's
I
pretty
don't talk
rough.
about it, and I'm like, is that his breakfast? I gotta go. So anyway, it didn't go very far after
I'll
that,
just
but.
say, in future reference, it's far less weird to say I slept over than I woke up one night in his bedroom. That's the weirdest way you could have put that.
I said one morning.
Oh, one morning. All right, sure. I guess it's a little bit better. But still,
It does
honestly,
make it, it does make it sound like how'd I get there?
yeah. Yeah, I would be
That's true.
concerned at him snorting in his own closet. Like,
It was weird. It was
yeah,
weird.
I'd
We'll call
question
it weird.
things.
Yeah. So all right, so presumably going back to the movie a little bit, presumably this guy is somehow he used to be in the CIA or FBI, right? Is that what the whole story was?
That's right. He
And
was like deployed in Syria or
yeah,
Serbia. Yeah.
yeah. So he was good. He was a killing machine, and then he had some horrible accident, got brain injury, which made him not want to be a killing machine anymore. Um,
Sounds like Jason Bourne. It sounds like the exact what happened to Jason Bourne.
similar. And so again, presume. And Justin, I thought had a good point. Cause I'm like, he doesn't want to be a killer. He's like, but does he? And I thought, I mean, that's kind of true. He still doesn't really have remorse about killing people. So,
I got the vibe from this movie that you ever watch those I don't know why this is a trending topic currently, but you ever see those kinds of podcasts that dudes make that pretty much only it's like a dude talking to three other dudes or whatever, and they always talk about like as if they have the greatest wisdom on male and female norms, and they're like, yeah, bro, women like it when you don't put them as priority first so that they try to vie for your attention. Like they give out all of this kind of advice that's absolutely batshit insane, but they think is them acting like they're being fucking alpha. This movie gave me the vibes that they would have watched it and they've been like, man, that's what I'm talking about right there. That guy is a real man. He like that guy gives no fucks, but honestly, he gets the most fucks. You know what I'm saying? And then his other dudes sitting next to him would be like, "Man, you're totally right." And all of them are wearing bullet casing necklaces. This is what I envision.
Oh, I'm thinking this is not your favorite movie.
You know
Wait,
what it
most
felt
of
like? You know what the dialogue felt like?
what?
So it felt like when I'm on campus and I overhear undergrad like dudes coming out of the business school and they talk to each other like like the most gangster speak of all time, and they're like, "Man, that's fucking whack, bruh." And like I bunch of these fucking white dudes coming out of their business class talking like this, and I'm like, "What are you saying?" That was the same vibe that I felt when in this daytime comedy movie of Anna Kendrick and Sam Rockwell, there would be these scenes of people just like talking like murderous gangsters and slapping people around. I was like, what are you doing? Now,
Oh,
I
yeah.
get it's humor, and I get that
Uh-huh.
the comedy is supposed to be this is outlandish as comedy
Right.
can sometimes be. But I think maybe where I'm coming at it as is I didn't laugh though. Which that's just a subjective response then. Is like I get you made a joke and I therefore did not laugh. But fair enough.
Yeah. I definitely thought he was funnier than her. Well, than she. I just felt like you're right. I think she kind of tried harder, and I felt like he was just kind of. I mean, this is a bold statement, but I think he's just a better actor.
Sam Rockwell's a
Don't you think?
great actor. That is very true.
So
Or at
it
least is
just
very good.
kind of came natural. It just I I don't know. I think I just enjoyed him. I
Yeah.
enjoyed watching him.
He has screen
Um,
presence for sure. For sure, for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. So, um, totally.
Anna Kendrick's
I
one of those
still,
people who's really good at being themselves on camera, which
yeah,
is I don't think is wrong. I think that that's like it's a type of acting. Like people who are good at that are
yes,
they're like
yes,
natural
true.
they're like naturalist actors. Like George Clooney is
Mhm.
a good actor at being himself, and and Anna Kendrick is the same way. Uh, I think like who else am I thinking of that are very much themselves? Like Ryan Reynolds is, he can act emotions well on screen, but he will always be the character of Ryan Reynolds. So they're not like so. There's that type of acting, naturalists, like people who just are themselves, but can do emotions on camera well and react well.
Right,
And then there's
right.
then separately from that are character actor people like
Mhm.
Joaquin Phoenix or Daniel Day Lewis who be different people in different movies. I just think it's just different styles. So like
Mhm.
I think Anna Kendrick is a good actress, but that's just her style is to be Anna Kendrick. You know what I mean?
Right, right. Or that's what she gets hired to do.
Yeah.
That's what people want her to be. I liked it. I liked
Okay.
the music. I liked how it was filmed. Like I thought it was sort of they'd slow down when a bullet would be coming towards him, or he would see, because that was another piece of it, was that he could slow things down in his mind and kind of um, you know steer out of the bullet, or
Mm-hmm.
juggle a knife that's thrown at him, or whatever.
So
That was kind of neat,
what
the
would
way
you
they
give it as a score
played with
then?
that.
I want
A
scores.
score.
I want
It
scores.
was above
Overboard.
is above overboard. I'd give it, for me, I would give it like a 6.
Okay,
I'll give it a 6.
that's fair.
How about you?
I'll probably give it a 3.
Is that what you gave overboard?
I thought I gave it a 2. I don't know.
Okay.
They probably
Yeah.
deserve the same. I'd say 3.
No way.
I
It's
don't.
definitely better than overboard. I just think it's a better made movie than overboard too.
I mean, it's got better graphics because it's 2015.
I feel like this is what I want from people. I want people. This is a controversial episode. This is
Okay.
controversy at your height.
Yeah,
And I don't
yeah,
know, what are you going to get more controversial than? Is Mr. Right a good movie, or is it not?
yeah. We're gonna get some hate mail after this. People are gonna be like, "All right, you guys need to get canceled after this."
they're gonna be like, I'm Team Corey. That's what I expect to happen.
I
want
don't expect that
memes,
at
I want
all.
lines drawn.
I'd be shocked.
I want opinions in my favor, of course. Um, yeah, that's what I'm wanting.